Yes, boy, it is Saturday. I know you want to go home. Don't worry, you'll be going home. All right, Saturday afternoon over here at SWRC. We're still working. We're still working and trying to get her done. And what we're working on is we're working on our Mustang. Our 1968 GT, big block Mustang from New Jersey, the rust bucket from hell. It's a big fucking mess is what it is. But we're going to get her done one way or the other. And you know what? We're literally basically just started on this thing.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So where we're at on our cowling replacement, now this is the lower cowling, and then of course you got your upper cowling, and these are our fresh air intakes. And the reason that they build them up like this is because when debris and water come down in here, of course, you know, it won't reach up that high and go down in there. So anyway, that's your fresh air intakes. But what the situation is we are going to go ahead and cut these out and replace them. But before we do that, we found that the replacement panels have some pretty heavy surface rust on them. Now there's two ways that we can cure that surface rust. We can go ahead and get these sandblasted, and then of course they would be nice, clean, super clean fucking metal to work with, or we can do it my friend Pete style, and we can go ahead and use a water vinegar mix. So what we've done, we went ahead and took some cheap, inexpensive distilled water and vinegar, vinegar, all right, we took some vinegar and we mixed it 3 to 1. That means we use 3 parts water, 1 part vinegar, and what we'll do, we'll take some steel wool, we'll rub those down with steel wool and vinegar water, we'll make sure that they're cleaned off. It'll take a little while for the mix, and when I say mix, I'm talking about the vinegar water mix, to penetrate in there. It'll eat all that surface rust off. It'll make our metal nice and clean. Now, if it was any worse than it is, I would go ahead and use muriatic acid to clean that off. But we're going to go ahead and start with our vinegar water solution and see what happens from there. So what you want to do now, this isn't really necessary. I mean, you know, you don't have to use gloves. I use gloves because this stuff stinks. And if you don't use gloves, of course, it'll get on your hands. And then, you know, if it's early in the morning or something like that, the rest of the day is going to suck because you're going to smell like one of those things you buy in the store called a douche, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm sure nobody wants to smell like a douche. You know, those are made of vinegar and water. It's a vinegar water substitutional douche cleaner is what it is. It's a douche. What I'm using some medium grade steel wool. This is medium grade steel wool. And I'm going to take my vinegar water down there. Let's go ahead and put the vinegar water up here since we're up here working. And I'm going to reach down in here. I'm going to saturate that steel wool, and then what I'll do is I'll take my steel wool and I'm going to go ahead and clean my metal off just like this. I'm going to go everywhere possible. I'm going to cover every piece of metal surface that I can, saturating that, cleaning it off, and hopefully penetrating it to get our rust off of our piece. This is going to save you a lot of money by cleaning your pieces like this. And the situation we have with these pieces is that the owner of this car bought these a couple years ago, and they've been sitting around getting moisture on them and this, that, and the other, so that's why he's got surface rust going here. But usually when you buy them new, that means that you're ready to use them, and they shouldn't be sitting around. And if you watch real close as I'm cleaning this off, you can see that just from rubbing it with our vinegar water and our steel wool, it's actually working as fast as we're rubbing. Another thing this does by using the steel wool water mix is that it's actually cleaning off all the grease and oil contaminants that come from the factory of where they make them, because these actually have an oil, a thin oil layer applied to them to keep them from rusting while they are being shipped and this, that, and the other. And then we'll go ahead and repeat our process on the other panel because we're replacing both left and right. We want to make sure that this is cleaned off thoroughly and get all of that gunk and surface rust and grease off. Come here. Come here, bud. Over here, partner. What the hell's going on today? What you up? Come on over here. Nobody can see you out there when you're behind the camera, bub. Stand right here. So what's going on today, partner? What's going on? What are you doing? You want to tell everybody who you are?
Well, my name is Jesse.
Yeah, your name is what? Minesweeper?
No.
What's your name?
Jesse.
Your name's Jesse. Now you're kind of a specialist, aren't you? You're like a high-tech specialist guy in a field of opportunity. Now you play a game. What's the name of that game, bud?
Minecraft.
Minecraft? So you're playing a game called Minecraft, and from what I understand, you're like a professional at it. Is that right? I mean, you're one of these accurate guys that gets these video games out and plays it until you beat it. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you at on Minecraft? What's going on? What's happening?
Building stuff.
Uh-huh.
And you can.
Now what have you been building, bud? What's building? When you say building, what are you building? A building or dogs or cats or animal? What are you building?
Well, I'm building a big huge square where people have to survive. Well, I have to survive.
Right.
Survival.
So it's a survival game.
Yeah.
You're building a city. You're building your own little town, basically.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're mastering the game until you are the master of the game. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing here, bub. You see what I'm saying? I'm teaching everybody out there to do it right so they can get it done. Do you think I'm doing a good job teaching everybody? Being a school student, what grade are you in, bub?
Second.
You're in second grade? So when you're in school listening to your teacher, you're listening so you can learn. Is that right? Kind of like what these people out here are supposed to do. They're supposed to be listening to us, show them how to do this, huh? Am I right or wrong? Now, what was it, about 2 months ago, we went to Colorado and we went snow sledding. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was the first time you ever went snow sledding. And you taught yourself how to do that, all by yourself, right? And you mastered it. You're a master blaster of disaster when it comes to snow sledding, bub. Did you know that? I mean, you're like the ultimate snow sledder guy because you taught yourself how to do it. What can you say to everybody out there? Look at the camera. What can you say to everybody out there that wants to teach themselves how to do something? What would you tell them?
I don't know.
Would you tell them to practice makes perfect, and it's kind of like a video game? You got to keep playing and playing and playing until you get it right?
Yep.
Is that what you would say to these people out there?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like working on a car then, right?
Yep.
Okay, bub, what you drinking there? You drinking your soda pop?
Nope, it's not soda pop. It's
What is it?
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. Oh, that's not a soda pop? Okay. It's Dr. Pepper. That's different, huh? Well, I appreciate you coming over, bub, and, everybody out there's watching you. They're trying to learn from you, dude. Do you think they learned anything? You're a teacher today. You're not a student. You're a teacher. You're telling everybody out there to what? Watch, listen, and learn. Practice, practice, practice.
Yeah.
And what does practice, practice, practice do?
You just keep on playing and playing and playing until you got it.
Until you're the master blaster of disaster!
Okay.
Right?
Right.
All right. Get the heck out of here, dude. I'm working. All right? Go do something. Go drink your Dr. Pepper, not your soda pop. All right. Kids. You can learn a lot more from them than you actually think. So what we're doing here, we are cleaning this off once again with our steel wool, and it's very important to make sure that you get it everywhere possibly that you can. If we bring this panel back over here, you're going to see that it's turning to an orangish color orangish colored layer, you might say, what that's doing, that's telling me that the vinegar water is working. So we're going to let this go ahead and dry. We're going to see what happens. When we come back, we'll wash it off, go to the next step of replacing these panels. All right, what are you looking at it for? You inspecting it?
I was making sure you're doing it right, man.
I know how to do it.
You know, we got to do it right, do it right, do it right. Like old Cecil McGee says.
Cecil McGee isn't here today. He's pissed off at me.
Because you almost sold his truck?
No, because Big Yeller's back there, big four-door crew cab.
He's jealous.
And I didn't let him get in the video action on it.
Oh, he's probably mad.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, so we've waited approximately an hour and a half to let these dry. And you can see what the vinegar water has done to them. You can see that it has eaten away all the oil and the rust and the rot. And you can see that it's a nice clean piece. Now, you can also see that it left a stain on the metal. Don't worry, everything's cool. We're going to take care of that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my water. Now this is faucet water. We're going to go ahead and wet it down one more time. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my steel wool, just like you see. And you can see that it will come right off. So we're washing our metal with fresh water, and we are diluting and removing the vinegar water as we do it. And now you can see that this piece is ready for epoxy primer. We're going to go ahead and epoxy prime these before we install them, due to the fact that this is actually what you're looking at here. This is the underside of the dash. This is the underside. This is where your, let's see, hold on a second. What the fuck? Yeah, this is the underside. That's correct. All right, this is where our fresh air duct would bolt to the car itself. And so it would actually be sitting like this. So we're going to go ahead and epoxy prime these before we install them. That way they'll be done. And we'll just have to come back and touch them up, and they will be sealed up for a rust-free environment that we are looking for. So we went from surface rust to this right here to the finished product of what you're looking at right here. Let me go ahead and get some epoxy primer on those. I still got to clean that other one. And when we come back, we're going to start installing our fresh air ducts into our lower cowl panel. We'll be back then. It's a big fucking job. Big fucking job.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.